today, we're gonna make Cowboy Chili Stew. Now this is a really good stew and it's really easy to make. You can pretty much just put everything in the pot and let it cook. It's better in a Dutch oven. This is sort of what this is called, and it doesn't have to be a big one, but it's a really good recipe that you can cook. You can store and freeze it for a long time, and then also serve it as a real quick sort of campfire food. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here's the ingredients. You're gonna use 1 medium onion. You're gonna use 1 pound of ground beef, a pound of pork sausage, 1 can of pinto beans. I like to use the Charro beans, 1 can of Rotel tomatoes, and 1 can of tomato sauce, plus half that can of water. And you're gonna get 1 can of corn. You're gonna drain the water off of it. Then you're gonna get a packet of chili mix, like the McCormick's chili seasoning, and you're gonna get a packet of brown gravy mix, or the seasoning. And then you're gonna use 1/2 cup of black coffee. So here we go. All right, so you're gonna get your pot to medium heat. You're gonna add some oil, and then the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take yourself this yellow onion and you're gonna chop this up. Now, you don't wanna brown this onion, you just wanna what we call sweat it. So it's just sort of waiting until the onion becomes kind of clear, almost translucent in a way. So once you finish that and those onions are ready, you're gonna get yourself the ground beef and you're gonna put that in your pot. Now, one of the things I like to do is use a wooden spoon that kind of breaks that meat up, and I kind of work it around. The more you do that, the smaller it'll get. I also like to add a little seasonal or some kind of mixed, general purpose seasoning. This is one that I use a lot. I'll put it in the description as well for you so you can take a look at it. But once this meat gets all broken up and starts to get partially brown, you can start working on your pork sausage. It's always fun when you guys come and visit me while I'm cooking. You can see kind of how I do it and maybe learn something here and there when you're doing it. But anyways, when you start working on your sausage, you can use any kind of sausage. You can use a kielbasa, you can use deer sausage, you could use any kind of smoked sausage, something with flavor, with cheese, whatever you want. So the bottom line is that you're just gonna add some kind of sausage, and it doesn't have to be pork sausage, it could be turkey if you want it to as well. So you're gonna add all that to the pot, and you're gonna get that nice and hot and start stirring that in. Now that sausage is gonna break down and start adding some more of that flavor to the meat. Now the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to add this chili powder mix, and this is just the McCormick chili mix, and you're going to add your can of tomato sauce and about half a can of that of water. And you get that incorporated and stir that up, and this is where you start watching it to make sure it's going to get real incorporated, and you let it start getting to a hotter point where you start boiling it. Now if you're using cast iron, you don't want to bring it up too fast. Now the next thing we're going to add are those Rotel tomatoes. And then once we add the Rotel tomatoes and get that incorporated, we're gonna go ahead and add our Charro beans or pinto beans, whatever kind you like. I like the Charro because of the flavor that's in it. Now the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your corn, you're gonna drain your corn, you're gonna add that to the pot as well. And then you're gonna take your gravy powder and you're gonna add that to the pot as well. Mix that in, and that's gonna give it a little more rich flavor, and it's gonna thicken it some. And the very last thing that I do is I'll take about a half a cup of coffee, or actually it's espresso, and I add that to the pot. And that's kind of an old diner sort of thing that kind of brings up some flavor into the chili itself. You can also add dark chocolate if you wanted to, or unsweetened chocolate, and that makes it real rich and tasty as well. And so then after it's sat and it's gotten up to a simmer, and you let it stir and sit for a little bit, you're gonna stir this up and keep it hot. And then the last thing you wanna do is you wanna make sure that you keep it in the pot, but turn off the heat so it stays cool, because it will be pretty hot. This freezes great. It's an easy recipe to cook just in about 15 minutes. It takes near to nothing, and you can make it and it'll last a long time in the freezer. So hope you guys love it and enjoy.